I see we've actually got some good numbers today. So how it's going to work, I think, today is I will be doing just a quick and brief introduction for the speakers that we have today. And then I will hand over to Agnes and Stefan, who will then go through the slides that they very kindly prepared. And then at the end, we'll have time. We'll probably about have 10 to 15 minutes for Q&As. And along with that, Ken will be monitoring the chat just in case anyone's questions kind of get lost in the background. But apart from that, I think we're going to get started. So today we are very kindly joined by AerialMetric, who are here to discuss their current projects and products that are on the rise. So in 2022, AerialMetric launched their medical cargo delivery operations using drones in remote areas of Madagascar. And to date, they have completed more than 10,000 deliveries, bringing 15 tons of medical goods to populations in need and continue delivering vaccines every day. These achievements were completed through the use of their proprietary drone, the S330, and the success and the frequent demands for assistance have prompted them to redirect forces towards a new business model, the manufacturing and the sale of the S330 to local operators. So today we are joined by Agnes Hier and Stefan Biel from AerialMetric, who are the CTO and the CFO. And without further ado, I think I will hand over to Agnes, who will then get started.
Hello, thank you very much, Megan and Ken, and hello everyone. I think some of us have met already in Nairobi a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think actually. So hi everyone. It would be lovely to see your faces and not your names on the on the chat box, but it's good to connect back. So since Nairobi, our position to the Flying Labs has changed a little bit. Maybe Ken can elaborate on that. But we're now a technological partner. We're not per se a member of Flying Labs anymore, because as a private company, we felt that we were not best positioned to play this role. But we remain the technological partner of the labs. Always happy to provide info on what we're doing, the type of projects we've undertaken, and share insights. I am in touch with some of you, and if you ever have questions about projects or pilot projects, you can reach out to us. We will reply kindly and with a lot of joy. So you kind of know me. I've been the CFO and I'm a co-founder of AerialMetric. I've been the CFO for 4 years. But the company was actually launched initially by Stefan, who's with me on this call. So Stefan is the primary founder of AerialMetric, and was joined in 2020 by Pierre, who's not with us today, who's the CEO. And since 2020, we've been flying and we've been trying to do good actually with drones. Stefan, I don't know if you want to say a few words now, or if I take over to you. Maybe you say a few words and then you'll play the role of the CTO. So really, Stefan is the mind behind the drones.
Nice to meet you, everyone. Yes, I'm the CTO of AerialMetric. I have been living in Madagascar for more than 25 years now, and so AerialMetric, yes, was building drones for topographic surveys at the beginning, and then we begin to design drones for cargo deliveries. When I met Pierre, who was leading an NGO company in Madagascar, PSI, and so he has the idea to deliver medical goods by drones, and so we began to deliver vaccines and medicines in yes 6 years ago, and we have made about 10,000 flights since then. Yeah.
So I'll now present you a few slides. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box, and we'll attend to them along the flow of the presentation or at the end. And the idea is really to make it interactive and to not to kill you by slides. What I think is interesting to know about AerialMetric's is that we've been flying, as we said, for 5 years. We've completed successfully more than 10,000 flights, and each month we're completing about 250 to 300 flights. So it's actually, going up quite quickly. And we have delivered more than 50 tons of medical products, so vaccines, drugs, and medical equipment. We are active in Madagascar and are doing a pilot project in DRC now. And so this is what we're doing.
Imagine a machine born to defy the impossible. The Savior 330 isn't just a UAV. It's a lifeline. Fully electric, it soars over 200 kilometers, enduring the harshest skies for up to 2.5 hours. Since 2019, it's delivered nearly 10,000 medical supplies, reaching places others can't. Built rugged, it thrives where others falter. The Savior 330, engineered for extremes, trusted when lives hang in the balance.
Okay, so that's the little video that obviously is AI supported for the voice. Thank you. Just to show what we're doing. And what we recently have started doing is a bit different activities. So we were active, as you know, on the medical cargo, so on the cargo logistics market with our drone. So it looks like, I mean, the drone basically, and Stefan will touch on that later, and maybe you can ask a question about it. But really, the drone is, it's what's inside the drone is really ours. We're now also doing the frame of the drone, so it's really a prop drone that we call the S330 for the wingspan. In the past, some of you might know that we've also undertaken spraying activities with T30 drones, so not our drones, but with drones we bought, and so we have a fleet of T30. But with our drones, we have been doing medical cargo deliveries, and we're now also providing surveillance services with our drone.
Designed for maritime surveillance and rescue, the ISR 330 is mission-ready in under 5 minutes. Built to withstand the harshest weather, it operates day and night, identifying ships more than 20 kilometers away and detecting people in distress. It can even drop rescue equipment, like buoys, to help stabilize victims before rescue teams arrive.
And so this is for us a new a new stream of activity, and one we really want to try and deploy ourselves more, because we identify a market, be in the maritime rescue activities, be in the surveillance of forests and illegal activities, or things like that. And so equipping our drone with the sensors that allow to to get information data and treat this data, and is really a new activity for us. So this is who we are. You know us, so I'll go quickly on that. We have four values at the core of our identity. Those values are commitment, agility, pragmatism, and innovation. And yes, it is important to have those values and to commit to these values, because it's really for us a compass. One example, we are now being asked to provide, if we can provide drones for the defense industry, which is something we hadn't seen before. And our values make it very obvious that we can do that if we are still in the realm of saving and helping people and not killing people, just to give you an idea. So when it comes to impact, we help address the 5 SDGs that are shown on the slides. More specifically, number 3, with obviously the health aspect and delivering medical supplies, but also, and we are very proud of that, providing qualified and very expert work to the youth in Madagascar. So we are a company of 70 employees today, and all of them have jobs that are highly qualified, and that's really a pride for us, because it's you know, it's in a way helping develop technological centers in Africa, and we're really serious when we say we are dedicated to doing that. So this is the range of activities we're providing today: medical cargo, spraying agriculture, and mapping, and surveillance. We are now going to the right-hand side of the slide, so drones. The idea for us today, historically, we've been providing services. So we've been flying our drones for the sakes of clients, but we have handled all activities from providing the drone to flying the drone, doing everything, and obviously maintaining the drone. What we are now shifting in our business model is that we're now going to, we now start to sell our drones, which we were not doing before. So the idea of selling our drone is, to provide the platform, and obviously to provide the services that go along the platform, training of the pilots, and obviously maintenance. But it's really now one, I think of the big lesson learned over the last few years is that managing to deploy activities is a lot. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of people, and a lot of knowledge. So we know Madagascar, we are learning to know DRC, but if we intend to know other countries before being able to provide services in those countries, it's a huge limitation, and we are not best positioned to do that. So today, our value proposition is to say, okay, if the right people are on the ground, we can provide the platform, we can provide the services, we can train the people, we can be there as a support, but basically operations being handled by people locally. And I think that's where probably our discussion today may go, because I think one of the strengths of the network is there. All of you are located in different countries and are knowledgeable on the needs, on the actors, and on the capacities in your countries. And sometimes we know that some of you may need technological platforms, and so we think that there's a quite obvious match to be made here. So what we want to be, who do we want to be? We're very ambitious. We want to be the #1 drone manufacturer in Africa in some years. I'll now share with you a little bit about the history of the company when it comes to the growth. So the idea for us is to manage to tap into what is poised to be a huge market. We can argue on that. Is it going to materialize or not? We don't really know, but a lot of market expectations are that drones at some point will really take off. And obviously, developing markets, given the lack of roads in good state, are an obvious market for them, and a market that makes sense, more importantly. So what we offer, what's distinctive about us when we look at competition is that, okay, we have a good manufacturing model. We are certified. So today we're ISO 9001 certified. Our manufacturing process got the certification a few months ago. We're quite proud of that. We also have a very short cycle of innovation. So really, we have some testing in Madagascar. So we have a really short R&D feedback loop, which is very useful for us to improve our platform and and make changes and try and test those changes live and in a very, very short amount of time. And I think on that I think very few people and very few companies are uniquely positioned to do that. And it's really thanks to being in Madagascar that we can have that. And another element that really supports our talk, and we walk the talk because we actually do fly every day. We fly a lot every month. And so not only do we know what's good and bad and what needs to be improved about our platform, but we also know what it means to fly drones in difficult conditions. So our drones are really specifically designed for those challenging contexts that we meet on the ground in developing markets, including weather. But also we know the difficulty for the teams on the ground to operate. So we know the fact that most of the time there's no electricity. Most of the time, it's rather rudimentary when it comes to the ground. In terms of telemetry, we also had to adapt to different conditions, and so all of that is taken into account in our platform, and we can really adapt to the specific needs of the people we talk to. And we really feel that's a very distinctive aspect of our platform, because some of our competitors, there are not many of them, but some of our competitors are made in Europe. So you can argue, flew a few tense flights in pilot conditions. We feel we're not talking about the same level and the same experience here. So we'll share about a few news about our company. We've some of you may know we raised funds 2 years ago to help us in this journey, and we're now again raising more funds to to get to the next level. So okay, this is a story. I don't know if it's really interesting for the crowd, but it's really to show also that we have ambition. We really want to be the #1 manufacturer of drone in Africa, and we're doing whatever we can to actually get there. So as I said, we now really endorse the positioning of a manufacturer who sells drones. And so I think it's quite important that you can see, what we're offering in terms of products. So this is the platform, the S330, that we are using today in our operations. And I'll invite Stéphane to maybe say a few words and explain a little bit more about those specs. Oh, I'll go back in the sorry.
So yes, so this is the NG version. So the next generation version of the S330. But I can share if you want the version, the version that we are selling now. So just a minute, I will share my screen. Okay. You hear me? I think there is a.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So this is the version that we are using in Madagascar, and I will share the the different application and mission that we can that can be done with this drone. So application for the defense, with no weapon on board, as Agnès said, for maritime security, for homeland security, for infrastructure managers, topography, and also environment surveys, and the logistics, so medical cargo. So the technical specification, the drone has a MTOW maximum of 33 kilograms, and it can fly about 2 hours and a half, and for range up to 200 kilometers. 200 kilometers, the drone will come back with about 40% of the batteries. So it can make this distance safely. So the drone is rainproof. So it has been it flew under heavy rains in you can imagine Madagascar, and winds up to 70 kilometers per hour without any problem. So the payload capacity of this drone is about 5 kilograms of cargo, but also any sensor and any useful payload that can be on board. So you can imagine that you can use LiDAR, multispectral, any kind of sensor on board, and you have a safety parachute that can be used for security, for if there is any issue. And the com link is done. It can be done by SATCOM. We have designed our own SATCOM link, which is very economical. So it's cheap. It's about less than $5 per hour of flight. So the link, the SATCOM link, you can use it everywhere, and it's less than $5 per hour of flight. So it's very cheap. So that's all for the technical specifications. If you have any question, can answer.
So I think this is if you have any question on the technical side, on side of specifications, we can discuss that in a few minutes. We now also have, as you saw in the other in my other screen, you saw that we have a plan to not improve, but to make it even more performant, to improve the performance of our drone. And we also have launched a project to to develop the next size of drone. So this drone that we saw is for small payloads and is a last mile platform. We now have the project to develop a middle mile platform with able to dispatch larger payloads. So voila, that was in a nutshell our presentation, just to provide a little so some juice on our projects, the projects we've undertaken over the years. We have mainly served the development market, if not only. So we flew, our direct clients are big NGOs, but behind the NGOs, the donor who really give the money have been almost exclusively health organizations such as WHO, such as Gavi, such as the World Fund, such as UNFPA, and USAID, the defunct USAID, and the French and FEED, which is the French Development Agency. And this is still our obviously target market, despite what we're seeing in terms of obviously a decrease of investments in health in Africa. This remains our heart and mind and dedication. But we're now open to working with governments on surveillance of borders or things like that. Voilà. So now we're really welcoming any discussion around either our projects, our drones, or even if you want to ask questions about some projects or some elements you may have in your countries. That will be interesting, very interesting, I think, to open this conversation here. We know that over the years we have received inquiries from many people on in the labs, and we know that some also in some countries you do have some organizations who launched tenders for some projects. So yeah, if you want to share, if some of you have done something, have flown for those kind of organizations, the challenges, etc., I'm really happy to have a conversation around it here. And maybe you can either put your questions in the chat box, or even more nicer, maybe just unlock the mics and discuss. So I think we have 2 questions already. What is the average flight time? So we typically have, I think most of the points of deliveries are located between 50 to 70 kilometers from the takeoff point. So which means an hour and a half to 2 hours, back and forth. But that really, that depends really on the needs of the clients, and so it's what we do. What we notice, so we dispatch medical equipment and medical products, and typically for every takeoff point we have between 30 and 40 delivery points that we serve from one point. But again, this is very characteristics to the projects we undertake. So what is the range in kilometers? I think that was probably, you saw that, but it's up to 200 kilometers, the range. So it would be 100 back and forth. Obviously, if we land at destination, it's less than that, because taking off again requires some power. But if we drop the payload, it's 200 kilometers. Oops. How do you deploy those drones? Do you use an iPad or smartphone with software installed We do use tablets, but probably, Stéphane, I don't know if you okay. Maybe that's enough. For the software, maybe on the software you can explain a little bit what we're doing with the softwares and what we're using.
Yeah, so we are using a mission planner. I don't know if you are not, if you know this software. So it's an open source software, but we have customized it for to be more easy to use for the pilots and for specific needs. But it's a mission planner on a laptop.
So on the payload, so up to 2 liters, or I guess we say 8 kilograms, but we never managed to pack 8 kilograms in 12 liters because we don't take lead. Yeah, 12 liters. Any other questions on the specifications? Maybe not. So would you be interested to maybe share some elements on projects you might have, or questions you may have on operations? Really happy to support thinking about practical solutions and how to think about serving your clients, basically. So just to give an idea on how we operate today, so we have an airline company, literally. So we have a branch that is the drone manufacturing company, and then we have a airline company that operates the drones, that has all the certification and abides by airline regulations. The takeoff points are typically located in quite remote places, and from those remote places, even more remote places can be obviously reached by the drones. So we typically deploy what we call takeoff points in those locations, which can be hundreds of kilometers away from the capital city. And so we find that, and I think that's why today we really turn our back against being an operator outside our country of birth, and we want to be manufacturer and helping operators in different countries, because it's a lot of logistics. So I think what people miss when they want to operate drones is that it's a lot of logistics on the side of deploying takeoff points, equipping the pilots with what needs to be there to actually practically fly the drones. And it's not just a couple of chairs and a roof. It's way more than that. And obviously, making sure that you have the right support in place to have those people live for weeks or months in remote places, and have the right communications channels with us, obviously, but also with authorities. One key element as well is maintenance. Drones need to be maintained quite often. So it's every month you have to maintain and to really run systematic operations of maintenance, which means that on the takeoff points, you need to be able to handle quite a lot of maintenance cycles. So it's not just about building the drones and that's it. It's also mainly about operating the drones and having a sound and efficient maintenance system in place to make all that doable, but also safe. So which tablet, iPad or Android? what is the cost of the cheapest cargo drone and what's the maximum cost? Is there a complimentary training with the purchase? So it's always a bit difficult to share the cost of drone like that on a call. Yet, I think it's important to position the cost of drones, and you're right. So typically operating a drone, so operations, so maybe this is something we can tackle on the side, because it really depends on your country, depends on the cost of pilots, extra. When it comes to the cost of our drone today, it's a little bit less than $100K $1,000 in the in its basic equipment, in the base model. Obviously, if you want sensors, specific sensors for surveillance, that will be much higher, because the sensors typically can reach $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. So it's not cheap. At the same time, we find that our platform tends to be twice cheaper than its competitors on the market. So when we look at, I won't name them because I won't name competitors, but typically the type of drones that we compete with are more in the realm of $200,000 to $250,000. So yes, it's a huge cost, which is probably a barrier to have drones really take off today. But at the same time, it's a lot of technology. And so, and it's a lot of manpower. And so, and operating drones also is quite expensive. So this is the idea. This is a bulk number. And yes, obviously there's training with it. So again, does anyone have elements to share on potential projects, or do you what are you finding, or more generally, what are you finding, or are you feeling that the consequences of the backlash and on USAID? Do you what's the situation in your flying labs? How do you have any medical projects on the go today? Maritime surveillance in Tanzania, nice. So are you, Leka, are you handling the surveillance? Is your flying lab actually involved in handling the surveillance? I think that's really fascinating that maritime surveillance is taking off.
We're not handling it per se. Once upon a time, we did do a couple of trials along the coast in the islands of Zanzibar. But now I see that there's renewed interest in surveilling the essentially these fishing zones to detect poachers, illegal fishing activities.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's also a very interesting market development, which we hadn't seen, we hadn't thought about before. We thought about forests and national parks surveillance to obviously for again poaching, but yeah, the maritime surveillance is an interesting development.
Can you post your email so
Yeah,
that I can link you up with these people?
Thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
And so yeah, when it comes to medical products, I think it's for me it's we are very disappointed as not just as a private company obviously, but as human beings about the fact that those pockets of money for development and for health are disappearing So yeah, I don't know if some of you have had to live through some projects being terminated. But yeah, just really sad to see that. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have yeah, I got to be self-reliant, yeah. But the problem is on the ground.
Agnes,
Yeah, hi.
how are you? Nice
Good,
to
how
see
are you?
everybody.
Nice to see you again.
Here from South America, Bolivia, Santa Cruz. In my country, we have different altitudes.
Yeah.
We are over the 6,000 meters. Well, the highest soccer field is 4,000 meters over the sea level. Do you have any experience flying at those altitudes? No, not that much, but 2,000. No?
2000, yes, almost 2000, about 1,700 meters. But it's not an issue. We just have to adapt the propeller to the altitude. So if we know that we will fly, we will take off at let's say 2000 meters. We will change the propellers, and that's it. The only thing, the only issue we could have is the temperature. If the temperature is too low, this can be a problem, but not the altitude.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Not sure we would do it in La Paz yet. 4,000 meters.
Oh, no, in La Paz, okay. We are far away from La Paz. We better stay here in the lowlands.
Okay.
So maybe one more comment. In Santa Cruz, we have plenty roads. We have a lot of roads around everywhere, except forest areas and indigenous people territories.
Mm-hmm.
And we might have bad roads in order to get in there. For example, I just ordered some product from indigenous territory, and the wagon that has to go there, because the rain and the bad road is not able to do it, and we have to wait almost one week. Do you think instead of providing medical issues and everything, there are things that we can carry in there, like up to 5 kilos or maybe more?
Yes, of course, definitely. I mean, we've been okay. I'm sorry. I'm seeing, maybe you're seeing. I was doing tech stuff at the same time, and I shouldn't have. We can carry anything. I mean, anything. Then it's a question, obviously, if you ask us to carry drugs, I mean, like not medical drugs, but drugs, we wouldn't do it. But I mean, it's like a car basically, so people can use it for, any type of cargo, as long as the density allows it to be fit into 12 liters. I think it's fine. And 5 kgs into 12 liters, seems quite okay. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah, then it's a question of shape, and if it's like quite standard, we could definitely do it. Yeah.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So I'm sorry, I don't see if there's more questions, because I've decided to put the slide again to make it pretty, but then I lost the I lost the other view. So if I don't think there's more elements. So anyways, if you want to get in touch and to discuss specific elements, so there's my email address now, or you can go through Ken or Megan, and they would give you our contact details. So do not hesitate to get in touch. Even if it's about sharing information, we're happy to do it, obviously, to the members of the Flying Labs. And with that, this is going to be my final word. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. And Megan, we give it back to you.
Great, thank you so much. I think in terms of closing remarks, I believe that because the session is being recorded, it will be shared with the Flying Labs later on. So if there's people who joined slightly later who might not have caught the opening section, then they'll be able to grab it then. I believe it will be on WeShare as well. It'll be uploaded, so everyone will have access to it. And thank you so much to Stefan and Agnes for joining us and having a wonderful presentation. I don't know if there's any other remarks from Ken or anyone else who would like to say something before we finish, but other than that, I think that will be us bringing this session to a close.
Yeah, thank you. Nothing from my side, just to say thank you to the Flying Labs for sparing your time to join this webinar. I hope you found it insightful, and I hope it triggered something in you in the way you operate, in your strategies, in your plans, the aspirations, and it has opened, hopefully it has opened a door to be able to reach out to Agnes and Stefan in case you need any kind of support with your delivery projects or the applications that have been talked about on here. So with that, I appreciate that you took your time for this, and to Agnes and Stefan as well for willing to organize with us this wonderful webinar. So thank you very much, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next one. We have webinars pretty much every 2 weeks or so, and we will communicate just as we did this one. So thank you all.